Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I just came on to give you guys some update on YSL Young Thug's RICO trial. Yesterday, they had a motion hearing as well. They had they had three jurors to be interviewed for their hardship. So, what I'm going to do today, this morning, the judge had ordered the prosecution and the defense to meet together to get the discovery with the witness, the witness list, and it has to be completed witness list. So he told them all to get there at 9 o'clock this morning. Court don't start until 12 o'clock. That's when the judge is going to be there to do his part. But they should have met this morning in order to get the witness list. It has to be complete and with index. So we will see what happens with that. But in the meantime, I have the recording of what happened. Don't have visual because the camera person did not show up. So I have, you got to be creative in some of the stuff. So here is the yesterday's court hearing, court appearance. And hold on a second, let me just get it here. And give me a thumbs up if you could hear it, guys. Okay. I'm doing my best to try to give you guys what we have. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Afternoon, counsel's industry parties. We're back on the record in matter of the state of Georgia versus Cleve Adams et al. In 22 SC 183572. Mr. Beebe and Mr. Partridge, good afternoon. Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Potts, and Mr. Sharp, good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Williams and Mr. Steele and Mr. Howard, good afternoon. All right. Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Abb, good afternoon, sir. Mr. Ewing Masters, Junior and Senior, good afternoon. Mr. Nichols and Miss Westmoreland. Look at that, the trilogy. Miss Westmoreland, Mr. Harvey, and Mr. Carter, good afternoon. All right. And Mr. Ryan and Miss T. Williams, good afternoon. All right. Okay, ladies from the state, Ms. Hilton and the club, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. Mr. Randolph, good afternoon, sir. All right. Consistent with yesterday's directives, we're going to start off. I know I told you we were going to start off with 327. 327 was still not able to be examined today. So we'll start out with we're going to do jurors 328, 334, and 336. Mr. Randolph, you would summon 328, please, sir? Thank you. After the conclusion of these three jurors, we will take up Mr. Stillwell's motion to suppress.
Okay, they're waiting for the juror to come in. There's three jurors they interviewed, three guys. So after this is when you're going to hear Shannon Stillwell's motion to suppress. And I think this is the video. Has to do with the video when they were capturing him. Remember, they were saying that there was some sacrifices going on, religious sacrifice. This is them trying to get the video out, but they cannot bring anything in about the religion. They can't talk about anything like that, but just the whole video of them, the arrest and how it happened and things like that. So you're going to hear they have a witness that's coming up. And if you have any questions, y'all could just put it in the chat. And I'll attempt to answer it. Oh, and tonight I do have another attorney that's coming on to at 7 p.m. Another attorney. Sorry.
Say on. If you hook up correctly, I mean, I can make a phone call. Huh? Yeah, we'll call. Can you call the order? We'll.
Today's
3:28. Good afternoon, sir. We'll be with you in just a minute. Just give us a second, please, sir. Okay. All right.
I guess they're trying to prepare themselves.
All right, give the text report update. We have somebody working on it. You're working now? I see it. Okay. All right. All right, Jerry, 3:28. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, sir, let me see if I can summarize your travel with us so far. You came in on about the 5th of January of this year and the court's orientation wants juror video. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then I want to say you came back, on or about the 10th of January this year and filled out your 37-page questionnaire under oath at that point in time, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then I want to say as well, we examined you a little bit for hardship, or is that correct? On or about that time?
Yes, maybe a couple of weeks later.
A couple weeks later, okay? So what I want to do today is I want to follow up on some of the responses that you gave during that particular questionnaire under oath. Can I do that?
Yes, I do have a question though, and that is, I didn't really fully understand what hardship was at the time.
Let me run this, okay? I'll get to you, I promise. We're gonna, and that's to your point. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you some questions relative to that questionnaire. And the first one I want to talk with you about is question number 49. I'm gonna read it to you, and then I'm gonna read you your answer.
Okay.
It says, do you have any concerns or limitations that would prevent you from serving in a case that may last several weeks? In this case, I have been told and the court guesstimates that this case may go on some 3 months at least. Maybe longer, maybe less. And then you have, if checked yes, please provide specifics, and then you put managed recovery from pipe bursting in office next door, flooding 30% of your office, and it's also is impending or impacting my wife's business. You remember what you said there?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, I believe that we examined you earlier and you told us a little bit about your circumstances. And related to that, I'll also just tie in the question 217, counsels, which indicates this trial is expected to last approximately 6 to 12 months. This is originally when we sent this, or we had you fill out this questionnaire. Would serving on this jury be a hardship for you? And you marked yes. Is that correct?
Can you repeat that?
Yes. Question 217 says, this trial is expected to last approximately 6 to 12 months. Would serving on this jury be a hardship for you? And you said yes. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to ask you kind of questions 49 and 217 are kind of similar in the sense that they kind of go to whether or not you can sit as a juror for a period of time. Originally we said 6 months to a year. Now I'm telling you at least 3 or 4 months. So I want to talk with you a little bit about that.
Okay.
Okay? You're still a property manager? Is that correct?
Yes.
And you, your wife is a physician and she's your tenant, among many. And I think that you told us last time as well that you have some other tenants in your office space, correct?
No.
Your wife's your only tenant?
Yes.
All right. And you're the property manager for that particular space, is that correct?
Yes, and I'm CFO for her business also.
You're CFO for your wife's business?
Yes, and at the moment, more or less acting office manager of her
And you're
business.
acting office manager. That's for your wife, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you have any employees that help you out with any of the management functions that you have?
Well, that's where things changed quite a bit since we met last time. In that, so my wife's business, she is in a 50-50 partnership with the second physician.
Yes.
So the two of them basically own and manage their business. My wife is the senior person that started the business 20 years ago. The second physician joined 10 years ago, became a partner about 18 months ago. She unfortunately was diagnosed with acute leukemia.
Should be the partner?
The partner, yes.
Okay.
She was diagnosed with acute leukemia in February of this year, and got a bone marrow transplant in April of this year. So that drastically changed our situation in that she basically hasn't been seeing any patients face to face, and we had to reinvent our business because she is basically not able to carry, her responsibilities. And that's what caused for me to, increase my amount of time that I spend on that business from, very little to substantial.
Yeah, I think last time you were telling me that, or telling us that you spend about 4 hours a week.
Right.
And how much are you spending now?
Well, now it's more like, 30 hours or so, 20 to 30 hours. And
it's 20 to 30 hours with your wife's practice?
Yes.
Okay. And how many hours in your practice?
I mean, my business is very little because she's the only tenant. And
so you're managing basically your wife's practice.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get all your flood damage and everything else fixed?
Yeah, that wasn't a big deal. Like you noticed at the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me ask you some. I don't know if I drilled down last time into the financial aspects, but I think that if I asked you, how much do you make, let me back up a second. So if you're not there to manage this particular property, manage your wife's practice, it's not gonna get done, is that correct?
If I don't manage my wife's practice?
Yes, I mean, you don't have anybody else that does that.
No, I mean, it's certainly, we do have our office manager. So she has been running that business for the last 20 years. But because we had to reinvent our business now with the hardship of Dr. Maniakis being out, basically we need to reinvent our business. And we had to hire 2 nurse practitioners to cover the business. And in the process, we lost 2 employees, so we had to replace them. So basically, at the moment, we have an all-new business compared to what it was 4 months ago.
Okay.
And I basically led through the transition to where we are at this point.
So let's revisit, how much money,
I am, but I'm in my nail body.
1 second, y'all. This is
Saying what I want.
I know it's kind of ghetto, but this is the best way we could record. Just 1 second, get back to it in a minute.
Because it's a 50-50 partnership. She's responsible for 50% of the costs, which she cannot carry at the moment. So we have to sort through, how she is going to keep the practice alive, basically.
so it seems like you're pretty active in managing this particular space for the benefit of your wife, is that?
Yes. Yes.
So if you were here with us about 3 to 4 months, would that affect your ability to run and manage this practice?
So when you say 3 to 4 months, you mean full time? Or?
Yes, if you were here, I mean, full time with us could be Monday through Friday, most
So
weeks. And before you answer that question, there are no right or wrong answers. We're not looking for a particular answer. We're going to be bound by whatever it is you tell us, okay?
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking you these questions, all right? So,
Okay, so let me tell you my current situation. So if nothing deteriorates from where we are today, hopefully I would be okay being here for 3 to 4 months. However, like last week, we got notice that the doctor has to go in for another MRI at the end of this month because her path forward is not, it's more uncertain than it was a week or 2 weeks ago. So if that MRI turns out to be negative news for us, we will have to look for a physician provider to replace her, because at the moment with the nurse practitioners, that is adding a lot of workload for my wife, and she's burning out at this point because she's been doing this for 6 months.
so if you were here with us, do you believe that you could, for 3 or 4 months, do you believe that you could give these parties your undivided attention, or would you be more worried about the practice?
Oh no, I mean, I would be more worried about the practice. I mean, there's no...
That's fair, that's fair.
Yeah.
And would that worry about the practice, would you, and you're not being able to give these parties your undivided attention, do you think that might affect your ability to be fair and impartial to the state as well as each individual defendant?
Oh no, I mean, I would want to be impartial, but if my mind is somewhere else, I might not hear everything that is being said,
Okay. Anything, ladies? No. Anything about any individual defendant? May we excuse your 3:28 for hardship? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and excuse you for hardship. Wish you all the best, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so the judge just released him for hardship. What his issue was, his wife has the
Number
practice.
334, next, Mr. Randolph, please.
Okay, his wife is the only tenant in his building.
That's what the state told me last time, so that's why I'm basing it on. Yeah, me too, but you know, I mean, as you all know, those trials are not an exact science.
Okay.
So,
Okay, hold on. Okay. Doug's attorney, Mr. Brian Steele, just asked the judge, because the judge mentioned to the juror that it's going to be like 3 to 4 months of jury left, you know. So Mr. Steele is trying to clarify where the judge is getting the amount of time from. So the judge says that's what the state told him, that is going to be about 3 to 4 months. So that's what Steele is basically trying to clarify. So then judge is just basically giving Mr. Steele an answer regarding to the time frame. So basically the state is saying that it's going to be about 3 or 4 months. Once the opening argument starts, it's going to be about 3 or 4 months of the trial. I mean, we've been in the trial since January 4th, so I don't know. Here we go. Sorry. I was trying to clarify some stuff for y'all. Hold on.
I am. We'll see how it goes. Miss Hilton, because you're the one that told me the last update. Do you still believe that it's going to be 3 to 4 months? That's to present the state's case. Let me clarify that. I don't know if it was or not, but either way, okay. Did I misstate what you told me from the state's perspective? And minimum.
Oh, now she changed. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Mr. Steele, what I don't want to do as well is, set false.
Okay, so now the state is saying the minimum 3 to 4 months. So she changed her tune. The minimum. So the judge, I guess the judge most mistaken what they said. They said minimum 3 to 4 months. So they better tell the jurors that it's minimum 3 to 4 months. The minimum, because it could be max. So right now it's the minimum 3 to 4 months. So it's another, 10 months left for us on this case, y'all. And they still do not have a jury seated. Not one yet. Not one. All right, let's finish. Hold on.
Expectations, but originally, I've been telling people, we told people 6 to 12 months. I told them at least minimum of 3 months, possibly 4 months. But we'll see how it goes. So.
No answer, y'all.
Okay. All right.
Now they're bringing up the second juror. I think the two of them, if I could recall, all 3 of them were released. All 3 jurors was permitted to be excused. And there was 3 guys. 3 guys. 2 African American and 1 Caucasian. They were all released. They only did 3 yesterday. They're going to do 3 today. And they're going to do a motion. And hopefully the lists have been given to the defense side, because that's what the judge is going to rule on. He's going to rule on it. If they don't provide it, then most likely those 266 witnesses that the state is trying to put in most likely will be removed. They can't bring them up. And those, they can't use their testimony, because if they don't give the defense a complete indexed witness list. And why the reason why I'm showing you guys this morning, because yesterday I didn't get a chance to do it, and court don't start till 12 o'clock. So I'm gonna do this until about
We'll do it in just a second, okay?
okay. I'm gonna do this.
While you're waiting, can you pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone? Speak directly in so it's not here.
I'm gonna do this till
Okay, one.
sorry. I'm gonna do this until about 10:30, and then I'm gonna get on the road, okay? So we got about a few minutes of this, about 30 minutes. Then I'll come back with the rest and the one that happens today, okay? So I'm gonna keep you guys abreast of what's happening in court. Just stay tuned to Infamous Sylvia on YouTube as well as IG, Twitter, all my handles, all my platform is Infamous Sylvia. Please subscribe, share, join, all of that above. I'll keep you guys abreast.
Okay, Jared, 334, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All right, sir, let me see if I can summarize your travels with us thus far. You came in on the 5th of January or on about that date and heard the court's general orientation, saw the video. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then I want to say around the 10th of January, you came in to fill out a 37-page questionnaire under oath at that point in time. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So today, what I'd like to do with your permission is to follow up on the responses that you gave under oath in that questionnaire. Is that all right with you?
That's all right.
Okay, all right. Sir, we have a little bit of information about you, not only within the questionnaire, but also in some biographical juror information that you provided to us. So let me see if I can kind of just get a little more granularity on this. When this thing was filled out or generated, the juror information sheet, it says you were unemployed. Are you employed at this point in time?
Yes, but not full-time. I have a contract position that is hourly that started back in March, and I am an independent consultant, so I've started my own LLC to help supplement income between the two.
Okay, what is the contract position, and if I could ask?
It's a construction project manager. I'm hired through a company called Aerotech, working as a contract employee to 7-Eleven gas convenience stores.
And if I can ask you, how much is it hourly or salary?
It is hourly.
And how much do they pay you an hour?
I should not have a plan, but I already have. $55.29 per hour.
Okay, and how many hours do you estimate you make per week or?
It ranges.
Average.
20 hours a week.
And you started that back in March, is that correct?
Yes.
So on a weekly basis, we make somewhere a little more than $1,100. Is that correct? About 1105.80. If I'm multiplying 55.29 times 20. Is that correct?
On average, that's correct.
On the average, and if I multiply that by 4, that's your average monthly salary. You make about $44.23 a month. Is that right? That's in this part-time job.
Roughly, yes.
Okay,
That's correct.
all right. What is it Arrowhead? Is that what you told me?
Aerotech.
Aerotech.
AEROTEK.
What is their juror policy? Do you know what it is?
If I'm not doing hours, I'm not paid. So,
Okay.
it's release the jury if I'm in jury duty.
Okay, no hours, no pay. Okay, all right. And your job as an independent consultant, you said you have an LLC you started?
Correct.
What do you do? What does your LLC cover?
Same thing, construction project management, real estate consultant. Basically, my background is a real estate developer, so I'm trying to do that for clients, managing projects for them.
Okay, do you have anything going right now?
Yes, I've got a salon build out, interior build out and cater, and an actual number 711 project that I'm working on for a client in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, and that's 7-Eleven, the convenience store, is that correct?
Right. So that is separate, though I'm working for them as a direct hourly contractor. I'm working for this client where she's a developer. I'm managing the project for her.
Okay, so with both of these two positions, if you're not there, as you mentioned, no hours, no pay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so if this trial were to last a minimum of at least 3 to 4 months, would it be fair to say that you would not be able to make any income?
That is correct.
All right, and I gotta ask you some other questions that ordinarily would be none of my business, so please forgive me in advance, okay? Do you own a home, have a mortgage, or do you pay rent and utilities?
I do have a home, pay mortgage and home utilities.
Okay, and other than the costs associated with having a home and a mortgage and living in the Atlanta area, do you have any other extraordinary expenses such as a car note, children in school, taxes that you pay? Do you have anything like that you want to share with us?
Car notes, home car note.
How much is your car note per month?
Roughly $400 a month.
All right, you got any other expenses? The extraordinary and above?
Nothing extraordinary, credit cards and all that.
Okay, how much would you say that runs you every month? Car expenses, a total of the minimum payments, what would you say that comes down to?
We call it $300 a month.
Okay. And if I were to ask you what you had in checking and savings, what would you tell me? Start out with checking.
Personal checking, about $1,500 in checking.
Okay, savings?
Nothing in savings.
Okay, all right. There's a reason I asked these questions. So if you were with us, about 4 months, 3 to 4 months at a minimum, would you have to expend whatever you had in your checking account to pay your ordinary and customary bills such as your mortgage, your car note, and your credit cards?
What I spend in my checking? Yes.
Yeah, would you spend all of it? Would that put you in financial peril or concern?
Absolutely. Yes.
And would that financial peril or concern affect your ability to come into the four walls of this courtroom and provide these parties with your undivided attention?
It would impact my ability to do that.
And you believe that may or could affect your ability to be fair and impartial both to the state as well as to each individual defendant?
That's a tough one.
I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody. No right or wrong answers. We're not looking for a particular answer. We're going to be bound by whatever it is you tell us.
The stress would be there as far as being here and being able to be focused. If I am here, I will try to be as impartial and fair as possible.
But the issue with not making any money for 4 months would be the biggest driver.
That would be my
in terms of your being able to pay attention.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Anything further, Ms. Love?
No.
Anything further about any individual defendant? May I excuse juror 334 for hardship counsels? Fine. Juror 334, we're going to excuse you for hardship and wish you all the best, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Randolph, 336, please, sir. Okay, juror 336, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Do me a favor, pull your chair before you stand the microphone. Yes, sir. If you wouldn't mind, speak directly into it so we can all hear you, okay? Yes, sir. All right. Juror 336, let me see if I can summarize your travels with us so far. You came in on the 5th of January and you heard the court go through an orientation and you saw a jury video, is that correct? Correct. And then I want to say around the 10th of January, you came back in and under oath, you filled out a 37-page questionnaire, is that correct? Correct. And then I also believe that you, sometime in the next couple-week period, we examined you for hardship, is that right? Correct. And at the time, I believe that you owe us an information. And before I ask what that information was, are you still an administrative assistant for the Georgia General Assembly?
Oh, this guy, y'all.
Georgia General
Hold on,
Assembly.
hold on.
Representatives.
Let me stop for a second.
Yes, sir. All right.
This guy was not excused. My mistake. I forgot. He originally requested to be excused, but then after he thought about it, he decided that he didn't need to be excused. And you guys gonna understand that. And they didn't move him forward to the next level. Okay, I just wanted to tell you that because I made a mistake. My bad. Hold on a second. All right, here we go.
And I believe that we asked you what the juror policy was, and you didn't know. So, do you happen to know what the policy is now? Yes, sir. So we are paid fully for our time here. So no matter if the case lasts.
Okay, this is one thing I want to point out about this guy. This guy makes $35,000 a year, right? And working for the county or the state, he's gonna get paid fully for the time of being on the jury, no matter how long it is. So I think he's the best candidate, one of the best candidate, because he's going to get paid. He only gets $35,000 a year. It's not that he's going to get the same pay. So hey, why not take him? All right, here it is. Hold on. So he's one. He's going to be. I think he's going to be one that they're going to pick. This is just my opinion. They're going to pick him.
3 months, 4 months, or longer. 6 months that you would get paid your salary? Just as per our administrative handbook. Okay, all right. Your job is a full-time pay, is that correct? Yes, sir. Okay. Salary? Yes, sir. Can I ask what you made last year? I actually only started working in December. Okay, what's your anticipated salary, what they told you when they hired you? That's a good question. Yes, I don't need another exact figure. I'm honestly not sure, sorry. 40,000, 35,000, 45,000? Greater? Probably like 35,000. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, I think that answers that question. Let me go ahead. I want to turn to your questionnaire for just a little bit, okay? Okay. And I know it was almost 9 months ago when you filled this thing out. So I'm going to read you the question and whatever the inquiry area is, and then ask you to comment or follow up on that. And I'm sure the lawyers will probably do the same. To question 217, it reads as follows: this trial is expected to last for 6 to 12 months. Would serving on this jury be a hardship for you? And I believe you crossed out yes and then put no, and then I believe you initialed it. Is that correct? Let me show you the page. It's page 34. I'm going to hand you your questionnaire, page 34. Do you recall doing that? Yes, sir. Okay, you can hand that back to me. Thank you, sir. All right, so given what we just went through, this trial may last minimum 3 or 4 months, possibly a little longer, a little less. Do you have any issues with still being a juror for that potential length of time? No, sir. Okay. All right. Let me turn counsel to 251. Question 251, I should say. And juror 336, I'm going to go ahead and hand you the page that this bigger page counts. This is page 36. Here, go ahead and take a look at that. And question 251, if you, I'm going to read it and then just kind of issue look at your questionnaire. It says, do you, for any reason, feel you cannot sit in judgment of another person? You mark yes. Is that correct? Yes, sir. All right. Can you talk with us a little bit about that, please?
So at the time, so this is my first time being called for jury. At the time, I just didn't really understand everything about it, and I didn't feel fully comfortable with the position. But since I'm pretty indifferent towards the answer I gave before.
So is it still your position? I mean, is that still the position you hold today, or how would you tell us where you are today?
If I had took this today, that answer may have been, it probably would have been, it'd be another day.
Okay, all right. So, could you listen to the testimony presenting the full walls of this courtroom and give it your undivided attention?
Okay.
Could you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you believe you could apply the law that I'll give you to the facts and the evidence as you determine them to be, and render a decision that speaks the truth, not for the state of Georgia as well as to each individual defendant. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Love, Ms. Hilton?
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, juror number 336. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry.
I am well, thank you.
I'm gonna give your 336's entirety of this section now.
Thank you, Judge. Juror number 336, I'm going to follow up with the last question that the court asked you about. Question 251, where you said that you feel that you, at the time that you filled out the questionnaire, you answered yes to the question, do you feel that for any reason you cannot sit in judgment of another person? And you said that had you filled that out today, the answer probably would have been no. Can you tell us what the difference between the way you feel now and the way you felt when you filled out the questionnaire? What happened or what transpired, if anything at all, that caused you to feel differently today about the answer to that question?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna overrule your objection. That is true, Mr. Steele, but so Ms. Love, can you kind of get to the point?
I did. I asked him what happened to change his mind. That's what I asked.
He answered it already. So
I did not hear, Your Honor, if the court will indulge. I don't know. He did not answer what happened to change his mind between then and now.
ask that.
I did.
All right.
You may answer. Thank you.
Only thing I can really say is time. Since that was the first time I was called for something like this, I suppose I just felt pressure and I didn't really like the feeling. But it's been quite a few months now. I've kind of accepted it,
Okay. And when you said pressured and you didn't like the feeling, could you elaborate on that a little bit?
I guess I've just never been in that kind of position before, to be on like a jury and to have someone's, life possibly be in my hands. So I really didn't want that at the time, especially at the time I started work, a few other things in my personal life. So.
Thank you. And the court asked you whether or not you would be willing to and able to listen to and evaluate evidence as it is presented. Even if you're one of the youngest member of the jury, would you have any problem assessing the evidence for yourself?
I did. Come.
Sure. And would you have any problem listening to the law as the court gives it to you and applying that law to the evidence and rendering a verdict based on the law and the evidence that you see and hear in the court?
No.
Okay. You indicated in response to question number 126, 120, and 127 that you are familiar with the artist who performs under the name Lil Wayne. Would you call yourself a fan of his?
No.
And at the time that you filled out the questionnaire, in response to question number 127, are you familiar with a rapper named Jeffery who performs under the name Young Thug? You indicated no.
Correct.
Is that still the case?
Correct.
And so at the time that you filled it out, you had not ever heard of him?
Basis. I sustain the questions asked and answered.
Have you ever listened to any of or heard any of the songs made by Jeffery Williams?
Possibly in someone else's vehicle or at a party or something.
Okay. And at the time, or did you recognize it as a song by Jeffery Williams?
No.
Young Thug, rather. In response to question number 137, please rate how serious you feel the crime problem is in your community. And 137 is on page 27 if you're looking at it. Thank you. You indicated a fairly big problem. Is the way that you felt at the time that you filled out the questionnaire the same way that you feel today as it relates to that question?
I suppose so.
Okay. What makes you say I suppose so?
At the time, it was definitely more so, I'm just thinking about a crime in my general area, but, that might have just been affected by that. Like that same week or so, there was maybe a shooting at a bar station or something like that.
Understood. And is there anything about your opinion regarding crime that you cannot set aside and that may impact or impair your ability to sit as a fair juror in this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In response, just 1 second. In response to question number 151, and that is on page 29. Are you aware of gang activity in your neighborhood, the area where you work, or the area where your family members or close friends reside? You answered yes. Would you tell me, what it is that makes you aware of that in your neighborhood?
I guess it's just obvious, you know. Do you want anything specific?
Whatever you have to offer.
I really don't know how to explain it. You know, it's how they're together and what they do around the area, you know.
In a case such as this, the court will give you the law, but basically the state is the one who has the burden of proof. And are you willing to hold the state to its burden of proving each element in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt as the court instructs you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything at all that would keep you from giving the state of Georgia a fair trial and each of the defendants a fair trial in this case?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all that I have.
All right, Mr. Matthews, anything, sir? Mr. Steele? Mr. Bonds? Or Mr. Sharp? All right, Mr. Harvey? All right, Mr. Partridge? All right, Mr. Williams? All right, Mr. Ash? Anybody on this?
Okay, yeah, this is the end of those jurors for today. For that yesterday.
336. Can we just step outside for just 1 second? I'll go ahead and call you back in. Don't get too comfortable, all right?
And they're gonna move him forward, guys. He is going to the next stage of this jury process. So the judge is going to take a poll if there is any objection, and there's going to be none.
Any motion or objection? All right, hearing none. Deputy, I want you to bring 336 back.
So they're going to move him forward, okay? No, bless one forever. No, they have not picked the jury yet. They're still in the process. Toya, I will give information on that. Her case was dismissed, but she's going to come on and give her own words on it. So I can't speak too much on that one, Toya, but her case was dismissed.
All right, jury 336, sir, you will have to come back and participate in the formal jury selection process. Now you ask yourself, what does that mean? I'm going to tell you right now. What that means is in about 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to call you. Remember that original letter you got from jury services? It has your unique jury number.
Okay, yeah, that's me moving the moving to go get the to move to the next level. Hold on a second. Let me just go get the other one. Okay, and the next one, hold on. Okay, this is the next one here. The recording. Hold on. And this is when they're doing the motion. All right. IG, I'm about to end. You guys come over to YouTube if you want to continue, because IG only gives you an hour. Okay.
Sylvia, how you reporting on
Sorry, guys. This is my ghetto way of trying to get the information to you guys. Sorry for the ghetto-ness.
Conducting a crime suppression detail with local agencies, and we have heard on our radios that.
Okay, this is a testimony being given by one of the officers that arrested Shannon Stillwell and Mr. Nard, I think that's his name. I forgot his whole name. Nicholas, I forgot his whole name, but this is the officer that was part of the initial, when you saw the video I show of them driving down the street and then they go into that backyard. This is one of the officers that first initially got there. He's testifying. Hold on.
Faces. Oh. You can respond now. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, dispatch over the radio between that and APD's radio frequency was broadcasting that they were.
What what did you do as a result of what you heard on the radio?
I went to the area to where the vehicle was being broadcast.
Where was that?
Ben Hill Road. It was a white vehicle. I did. I got behind the vehicle just as it turned onto Meadowlark Drive. No, ma'am. I didn't know at the time that the helicopter was overhead.
Frankly, didn't know. What's your objection, sir? What's your objection, sir? Form of the question? What's your objection? I'll sustain the question and say that. Okay, you can rephrase now.
No.
Once you saw the vehicle, tell Jeffery, please.
I got behind the vehicle. I did not activate lights and sirens. It was maybe going a little bit faster than the 35 speed limit in the area, but it wasn't driving reckless. So I maintained behind the vehicle, hoping to get units in the area and the helicopter. And as it went around one curve,
So your basic objection, Mr. Harvey, is narrative? All right, let's stand and say that they're narrative. Go ahead and just rephrase now.
Once you got behind the car,
I followed it
and where did you follow it?
to a home on Meadowlark in which it stopped.
And once it was established,
I got out of my car. Chased the two individuals that got out of the white vehicle in front of me to the back of the house.
the chase is behind you.
One of the males threw a backpack onto a bush.
And once you saw one of the men throw the back there,
I continued to the backyard to try to locate the two males. I was. I held both of them at gunpoint until Atlanta. Within just a few seconds, Atlanta police officers had run up behind me and secured both males.
at the time, you know that they were hostage. They were all wrestling hostage.
That question. Get back on that. So you okay? Well, for now. That may change. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Hill. No, so that's.
Okay. So, were you aware that there were?
No.
After Atlanta officers arrived on the scene, what, if anything, did you do once they arrived on the scene?
I just told one of the officers that they threw a book bag and stood around for a couple minutes and asked them if they needed anything, and I left.
Did you ever do a supplemental police report regarding your involvement on March 17, 2022?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I asked Atlanta if they need anything to reach out to me. I'd be glad to do it. Never heard anything.
Permission to approach? Permission to approach?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing, I'm showing the campus visit for motion to suppress number one. Some of you recognize this visit, for the motion, for still a motion to suppress number one.
I did.
How do you recognize it?
That is a still shot from one of the body cameras.
Okay. And inside that still shot, do you see your vehicle that you were in on March 17, 2022?
I did.
And do you see where, in looking at the exhibit number one, is that where you stopped your vehicle in order to chase or apprehend this individual?
Yes.
And is that a fair, accurate depiction of your vehicle on March 17, 2022?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a tendency to exhibit number one.
Any objection to stage one for purpose of motion? Okay. Stage one's admitted.
Thank you. I don't know.
Cross.
I love when Harvey gets up. Harvey's not coming up yet, but Harvey, I like his questioning. Wait till y'all hear it.
Thank you.
And Little Rod Dad is coming back on next Tuesday. We're going to have an interview for him next Tuesday.
I'm Glover. How are you today, sir?
Good, sir. Yourself?
Great.
Tall glass. It doesn't start till 12 o'clock. I'm just showing you guys what happened yesterday. I'm on my way to the courthouse in a few, as soon as I finish.
March 17th, 2022. Did you have any knowledge of any Atlanta Police Department investigation into this alleged murder?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you said you were doing crime suppression with other East Point police officers?
Correct.
Ben Hill Road is what you said, the Ben Hill Road, on Ben Hill Road?
Yes, sir. We were in that area around that time, yes.
How far away is that from the Meadow Lark?
Metal Art runs off of Ben Hill Road.
Okay, but where you were on Ben Hill, how far is it from the residence approximately?
I pulled out one of the streets, maybe a block or two, as they passed by, and then they turned on the Metal Arc, and I pulled out.
Okay, so you traveled a block or two, then you observed a white vehicle.
Correct.
And you said at that time, you were not aware of any pending arrest warrants for him.
Not arrest warrants.
Now, when you got behind the vehicle, were you directly behind the vehicle?
I was the first car back, maybe 100 feet,
Okay.
150 feet behind it.
When I say directly behind it, what I'm asking essentially is, were there any cars between you and the white car?
No, sir, it was just me.
And were you driving alone that day?
I was.
Does your car have dash cam?
It does not.
Okay, and so approximately how far, you're familiar with the area?
I am.
How far is the corner of Ben Hill and Meadowlark to the house on Meadowlark where you apprehended the individuals?
Less than a mile.
And you were behind them for that entire mile?
Yes.
Did you, while you're following this car, did you observe anyone throw any items out of the car?
No, sir.
You indicated, and you were the first person at the Metal Arc Fest as far as law enforcement?
Correct.
Okay. You indicated that you observed an individual throw a bag into a bush?
Correct.
Okay, other than observing the bag thrown into the bush, did you observe, once people were out of the car, out of the white car, did you observe anyone else throw any other items?
No.
How long were you on the scene before other officers arrived?
20, 30 seconds.
But it's your testimony that you had the two individuals at gunpoint by the time the other officers arrived?
Yes, they were laying down. When I come to the back, they had laid down on their own. And
I have no further questions, thank you.
Mr. Harvey?
Here come Mr. Harvey. Y'all wait till you hear him.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
What is detective? Who was sergeant? It was
Captain, close enough.
captain at the time, right?
Yes.
Hi, captain. I'm assuming that you were solo in your vehicle at that time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's a vehicle because you were a captain that didn't have a dash cam?
Correct.
You were there with, I understood, other East Point officers, right?
We were working a separate detail.
No, I get it, but there were other East Point officers there as well.
Not at the house when I got.
No?
Yes, sir.
When you first started this, the intersection that you told us about.
Correct.
All right, how many other East Point officers
No.
were there? All right, so you were the only one there.
Yes.
You got a call, correct?
I did not get a call.
You got a call out and you heard a call?
I just heard that Atlanta was in that area looking for a homicide vehicle. And I did see the vehicle that matched the description and got behind it.
All right, and let me just strike the explanation. My question was, you got a call, not the content of the call, so I'm just trying the answer beyond the question, Judge.
I'm on my rejection.
All right, that's fine. Is there a record of that call? Was it recorded?
Are you talking about a polo? Is that,
I don't know what it was.
this would have just been radio traffic on an APD frequency.
Okay, and was that recorded in any place?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, East Point didn't record it, correct?
It was a line channel.
Okay, so East Point didn't record it, correct?
I'm not sure.
Did you, make a report about your location? Did you call in your location?
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, and did you call it into East Point?
I was probably on Atlanta's channel, their mutual aid channel. I'm not sure if I switched over or not.
Okay, when you call East Point, do they make a record of that?
Yes, on their main dispatch, yes.
All right, and I'm assuming that you told them down East Point where you were and where you were going, what you were doing?
It's possible.
Okay, so there is, if it's possible, there would be a record of that, correct?
Yes.
After you did that and engaged in following that vehicle, I understood that that vehicle was going maybe a little bit faster than the speed limit, is that right?
No, yes, sir.
But not anything excessive.
Correct.
Okay. And it wasn't difficult for you to follow that vehicle, correct?
No, sir.
And you were, I'm assuming, reporting what you were doing and where you were going and what direction you were headed, correct?
Yes.
All right. And as I understood it at that particular time, you were, well, let me start there. When you arrived at the location, the car that you were following was in a private driveway, am I correct?
Yes, sir. It pulled into the driveway, correct?
And the car was in a private driveway, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the two individuals got out of the vehicle and ran behind, I guess, a private residence, correct?
That's correct.
And I'm assuming you got out, you drew your gun out and followed them behind the private residence, correct?
That's correct.
And after you arrived there, both of these folks were lying on the ground.
That's correct.
They were lying on the ground face down.
I think so, and looking back toward me.
Okay. And I'm assuming that they had their arms spread on the ground, correct?
Either that or behind their back.
Okay, it's already behind their back.
Yes.
So there was no, other than, running behind a private residence, no resistance, no hiding, they were there. You had no problem taking them into custody, correct?
Correct.
Right. Now, I also understand that you had no body cam as well, right?
That's correct.
So we've got no dash cam, no body cam, and when APD arrived, which was fairly fast, you inquired about a report. You asked them, hey, I'll do anything that I need to do, correct?
I just said, if you need anything from me, let me know.
Okay. And is it your practice to memorialize your activities?
With our details, yes. Atlanta was bringing a vehicle in. I got behind it, was able to apprehend them. And they reached out and said, hey, can I get a supplement? I'd be glad to.
Okay. My question is it your routine practice to memorialize your activities, for example, at the end of a day, to do a report?
Some, yes.
Okay, so sometimes you do a report and sometimes you don't?
Absolutely.
Okay. In this instance, the other agency took over, so it was your decision that I'm just not going to memorialize this at all.
That's correct.
Okay. Did you review anything prior to your testimony today?
Just a helicopter video and then a couple of body cam videos.
But I understood that you didn't even know that there was a helicopter there at the time, correct?
Yes, sir. At the time, I did not. As of about 3 days ago, I did.
Okay, that's about 3 days ago.
Yeah, when I received a link to the helicopter video.
Okay, but prior to that time, since, I guess, March 17th of 2022, you still hadn't known that there was a helicopter, right?
No, sir. To be clear, when I got out, the helicopter's pretty loud. Okay. But at the time, I was behind the vehicle. I had no idea that the helicopter was up.
So the only thing that you reviewed was the helicopter, and that was a video, correct?
Correct.
Did you receive any communications from that helicopter at any time? Did you hear any of the chatter?
I'm not sure what channel I was on. They operate on the channel, and there's several different channels that day.
All right. One moment, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. That's all I have, Judge. All right, any redirect comments?
To your knowledge, if you know, did you know if those two individuals resided at that home?
I did not.
You did not know?
I did not know.
And prior to you leaving the area, did you inform APD officers what occurred when you first arrived on the scene?
Yes.
Thank you, no further questions.
Anything further, your counsel? Okay, may Captain Glover be permanently or temporarily excused for purpose of motion? All right. Captain Glover, I'm going to permanently excuse you. I've heard this motion. You're probably going to be subject to recall a little bit later on. So just stay in touch with us. And unless you have anything else, don't discuss your testimony like except the attorneys in this case, okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, that was completion of his testimony for that motion. And now the judge is going to give what's coming up for the next couple of days. And then I'm gonna end this live after that and go on down the road. And I'll be bringing you guys some updates later on.
So we complete for now. You're gonna recess until tomorrow. I believe you'll call. I want to say. Is it Officer Peterson?
Yeah.
Okay, and Lieutenant Gant.
No, that's right.
Different motion. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just get it right. Tomorrow I have the continuation of this. We got the gun constitutionality issue, and then there's one more witness, you mentioned it, it's going to be Lieutenant Gant.
Oh, what again?
Not Thursday, I don't have anything scheduled Thursday.
Or
Tomorrow. Should be tomorrow. So I wrote down the date.
what he is tomorrow?
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Tomorrow, this motion. We have some stuff for the start. That's the Florida superintendent. Either officer the shed, major or not.
All right. Okay, for tomorrow, we are going to start at 12. The court has other unrelated business in the morning, so we will start at 12 o'clock. Now, at 12, it is this court's intention to take up the following before we end up taking our motion, the continuous our motions. We will examine jurors 352 357, and 359 tomorrow. 352, 357, and 359. We will exhaust those three before we begin our motion. And then we will be complete when we complete the examination and then further argument. So that's tomorrow, okay? That's Wednesday, the 20th. Just to give you all, to complete the rest of the week, Thursday, the 21st of September, we will have juror examination that commences at 3:30. We will examine right now, as far as I know, jurors 307, 316, and 325. 307, 316, and 325. I did say, I'm sorry, I said 3:30, but it's 3 o'clock, for the Thursday, September the 21st. And then on Friday, September the 22nd, I don't have the jurors we're going to examine, but Ms. Von Kelch will update me accordingly. We will examine, that's all we will do on Friday, the 22nd, is we will commence, at 11:30 and go to about 2 o'clock. Mr. Weinstein asked me that I complete by that time for Yom Kippur. Would that be sufficient, sir? Okay, not you, him. He didn't ask him. He didn't ask me dispensation for you, but all right. So we will do from, as I mentioned, councils, probably 3 jurors, and I will tell you those numbers for Friday, probably tomorrow or Thursday when Ms. Von Kelch indicates that to me. So we will commence at 11:30 and go to about 2. Ms. Love, you owe us a response for the, Ms. Hilton, a response for the wiretap motion. I'm going to set the motion date tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, Ms. Love's not here. Okay, all right, so. Okay, all right. Well, you got Mr. Brown sitting next to you. All right. Yes. I would recommend that, I would recommend that you all come tomorrow morning for 9 o'clock. Because this is your place of duty. Come tomorrow at 9, attorneys only. Your clients will probably be brought later due to the fact that we are going to start around the noontime hour. I'm going to direct you all come at 9. See if you can get all the stuff copied, handed out, physical copy for the court, everything kind of ironed out so that I don't have to spend too much time with it. Or if I do, I have to spend as little time as possible. And that's what my intent is, to spend as little time as possible. Or in the absence of my order not being, or my directive not being adhered to, I will make a final ruling on Mr. Steele's emergency motion for discovery. So, 9 o'clock tomorrow. You all need to be here. Anybody who can't make that? Anybody have any problems with that? I want to hear anything coming in when I come in at noon with other unrelated business, and you all tell me, well, we kind of, for various different reasons, okay? I want to hear anything, all right? I want to hear you all met. There is a transfer of paper and information. But everybody's got to be here. You all need to administratively take care of that issue. And then we will commence, like I said, at noon tomorrow with the examination of jurors 307, 316, and 325. And then we'll take up the balance of the motions that we have scheduled for tomorrow. and other information. All right, what other administrative questions do you have of me? Yes, Ms. Al.
The reason why you can't hear them, they're not near the mic.
Yes?
I have asked them many times to put the mic on, but they didn't put the mic on.
I'm not gonna comment on that, Mr. I will just let that pass, so to speak. Okay, anybody else? Any other ministry? Okay, councils. Then I will see you all tomorrow. You all will be here tomorrow morning at 9 to take care of the other transfer information. We'll commence officially with the court and juror examination commence starting at the meeting, okay? All right, we'll be in recess. Till then.
All right, guys. I'm about to get my butt on out of here so I can bring you guys some more content. Don't forget tonight, I will have Attorney Hill. He was one of the attorney. Remember the attorney that says the cap word, capping? I'm not capping. Well, he is going to be my guest for tonight. Okay? So, I will see you guys later. I'm going to get on the road. I'm not going to go live on the road today since I did this. So, I'll see you guys later on tonight. Have a great one. Bye, everybody.